reaction. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like
Yeah.
Facebook for me is much better for gauging like what's going to work and what's not going to work than
Right.
Yeah,
Twitter is.
I agree with
Twitter is
that.
like screaming into the void.
It's true. But on the other hand, like for me, I have gotten, so I had a bunch of followers, like 5,000, 6,000, something like that. And then I dumped a bunch of everybody that I was following, except for people that were the consistent engagers. And there was really only like 40 of them. And I was just like, I'm following these people. And I kind of put that stipulation out. Like, if you want me to follow for a follow back, engage with the account regularly, basically is what I said. And I made lists. And when people, it was their second time, I put a first time check. They went into that group and it was private, but when they hit that group, and then when they engaged the second time, that's when I added them. So,
Okay.
I mean, there was some strategy there,
So
but
are you like keeping track with like spreadsheets and stuff?
no, just lists. I,
Like
you know,
handwritten lists?
no. Lists on Twitter, you can make a list of certain, where you can name it whatever you want, and you can make it private or public. And yeah, you can make lists on there. So
I had no idea.
yeah, I've got tons and tons of lists of different people that, are this way or that way, or that are really engaged a lot. So I make sure that if I went through a mass and unfollowed people, I always go back and make sure those people are there because I'm loyal to them, because they're loyal to me.
Right,
And
right, okay.
they build my brand. I mean,
Right.
it's a win-win because I'm helping them with their personal development, and they're
Mm-hmm.
helping me make my brand look like somebody cares.
Right, right.
That makes sense.
Huh. Yeah, I've talked to both of you about this, where most of the content that goes on my Twitter feed is A, either auto-generated, or B, shared directly from my Facebook to Twitter. And everything that's shared from Facebook to Twitter is usually original content, and then the auto-generated stuff is basically just a daily quote that I've got set up to make a daily quote tweet for me every day. And I honestly, I haven't looked at my Twitter account in probably a month, and like every day there's a quote about love, there's a quote about nature, there's a quote about like just the random quote of the day, and then there used to be some other cool stuff that I'd have it do every day too. And it was honestly, for me, I didn't really care about the engagement as much as like just being there, So,
Yeah, it kind of depends on your goal. Like for me, there's been times where I've been discouraged that like nobody's engaging, and then other times where I'm just like basking in all of the like fun that it
Yeah.
is. And it goes in cycles, just not just because you have some people that are like on Twitter often, and then suddenly they're gone for like 3 or 4 months, and then they pop back in and see how you're doing. It's that kind of easily that way all the time. And then you'll have, I don't know, it's something, it takes so much time, and there's not a lot of really good automators for like following people, like
mm-hmm.
that type of engagement, because you always have to be you have to be constantly moving with Twitter. So it takes a lot.
How much time, like, would you say you typically spend on creating and engaging on Twitter? Like, is there a regular amount of time?
I mean, I don't know. I don't track my time on it, but so it's my personal development outlet as well.
Right.
And, there's a few of them that I keep back that are mine that I'm like, I don't keep back everything that's gold, but there's a couple that I want to make YouTube videos about, or I want to make sure I've tested it enough to make sure that it is what I think it is, or there's different reasons for different things. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've done, like 700 tweets in 1 week type of like a lot of content, like every day throughout the day when I'm trying to solve problems and I'm trying to like get through I hit a wall and I'm like, brain, like work with me, like whether I'm tired or not, like whatever it is that's causing the brain block, I'm making my breakthroughs live while I'm trying to help other people to
Right.
make their life better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So now, if we can back up just a second, Gary, what was it that prompted you to start doing this in the first place? Like, what made you say, I want to help people grow?
Well, so for me, like about 10 years ago, I went through a divorce, and I went through some very, very dark times, and I was suicidal. I admitted myself to rehab to get help, and I just thought there was kind of no hope type of a thing. And spiritually, I felt like I ruined things, and I thought there was no hope. It was going to be a done deal for me. Well, the truth of it is all that was garbage, and I just
Right.
needed to rethink some things. And I actually one of my first concepts, there's two of them that I came up with that dug me out of there, and I have not turned back. I mean, you have low days, but thought reconstruction is one where I took whatever thought you're thinking. If you're thinking suicidal, then you must be having some dark thoughts that are not
Right.
serving you well.
Right.
So I would
Makes
take
sense.
on a piece of paper, comments on the left down the page, put them in quotations because that's what the brain's telling me. That's what I'm thinking. And then on the right-hand side in the column, I'd put a percentage with it. And you give that percentage, my life is hell. I hate my life. I hate myself. Whatever, I don't know, whatever the bad dark ones are. And put a
Right.
percentage with that and go like, okay, this is a 6% thought. Is it going to get me anywhere? And then you just go, okay, what would be like a 35% thought? It may not be great, but it's better than everything's a shit show, like everything's a storm, and and I'm never getting out of this. I mean, people in debt, people that lost their job during COVID. I mean, people that are stressing and all of their flaws are coming out in front of the people that they want. They want the most support from, and they're fighting. Whatever, you can do it with communication reconstruction too. If you tell someone you're a piece of shit because you're mad, okay, what kind of result? You bring that to the table in any relationship. What are you gonna get out of it? What's the fruit gonna yield? It's gonna be, again, you're creating more of it. So you reconstruct and get up to where you get this 100% thought, and you're like, dang, this is the one. And I found out after digging myself out over and over and over and all these freaking thoughts that the 100% thought was just about literally as true as the crap thought. They just did different things for me. So
Yeah.
that was my one thought that one concept that just took me to somewhere totally different. And then the other one was rational identity. It was my own coin thing. You could do it in different combinations, but essentially I think sometimes when when we're really down in the dumps, it's probably, we don't know ourselves. We don't really know our qualities, or we're not our own project. Maybe we let ourselves go because we thought we weren't good enough or something like that. And so if you go like, I do this and I am that. Like let's say for the apartments right now, it isn't always for digging yourself out. It could just be like, you need a pat on the back once in a while. Like, I serve 88 tenants. I'm available for them. I am kind, let's say. Like something, whatever your values, whatever your attributes, whatever thing that matters to you, when you can say, I am that because I do this thing, your brain goes, yeah, that does make sense. And to know that you have these good attributes it makes you feel worthy. It motivates you.
And then
Character
you act
development.
accordingly.
Yeah, like Benjamin Franklin did his 13 virtues, and he journaled about that over several years. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you don't have a quality, it's just because maybe you haven't been able to focus on it. Like, Eric, you are funny because somewhere along the line that struck a chord with who you want to be and who you were naturally, and people liked it. Whatever all the motives were, there's several motives that like egg that on. So
Right.
one of the best things that, like, Strength Finder, the book, does an assessment, and you find your 5 greatest strengths. That book changed my life.
But
I'm telling
I
you.
think Erin Riley talked about something like that when we had her on the podcast.
Maybe.
Not that. Yeah. Anyways, carry on.
No, just doing different kind of assessments of who you are and labels, because we get so many labels from so many different places that aren't great. But to find your strengths, it flips everything on your head, because oftentimes we're always focused on what do I not do good enough at? What am I lacking in? What are all my issues? And like, sometimes that's okay. But if you live only like that and you don't go, dude, this is one of my best strengths, like this is so me. And when you start seeing these assessments and you start finding stuff about yourself, you're like, holy freaking heck, like somebody already knew that? Like, how's that even possible? But you resonate with it because it's like, it is me. Like, it's everything about my whole entire life. And they put quotes with it. I mean, there's a lot of assessments out there. So I'm all about like, know yourself, discover it through what I do, through some of these assessments. And then you start chugging. You're like, freaking, I'm going to use this strength and I'm going to maximize. I'm going to get something out of what I'm good at.
Yeah. So let's move to thinking with direction. You want to talk about that, Garry?
Yeah. So the rebranding for like from Affirmation Starters to Destiny Filters was partly because the thinking with direction, I mean, I had that on there for since I branded the Affirmation Starters. So like about a year, I was thinking about what the freak does thinking with direction mean? Like what does that get you? And really ultimately as I was sitting there trying to work on rebranding, it was that your thoughts create emotions and that creates motion and direction, like your destiny. Really your direction is potentially your destiny. So you need to be directing yourself to this goal or that goal, whatever you find, whatever your values are and what matters the most, the longevity. Just make sure, like airplanes, they're always correcting 80 times a minute they correct. So you just got to figure out where you're headed and be correcting what direction. And what are your thoughts? If you're thinking of freaking hellhole thought ball, where's that going to get you? Yeah. I mean, if that's how you do it all the time, you're going to have a miserable freaking life.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you're in tune with like what you like and what matters to you, dude, you're gonna just like every day's a party. Every day is fun, meaningful. Like you're contributing, and you'll find people to surround you like that.
We naturally start having the people that have a similar thought process that will gravitate towards us.
Yeah. The combination. You seek after people that are like you or that will help you to be better. But yeah, it's there. That's what creates attraction a lot. Is like I see something in this person that like either I lack and I need that hole filled. Like, because that's the same strengths book. They have I didn't even mean to like talk about them, but they have one, because we're on the subject. They have one that's for it's strength-based leadership, and they said some of the best leaders in the world are not the ones that have all of the qualities. They are the ones that are good at organizing a team. And so sometimes when someone has an opposing strength, it might be really good and it's your weakness. If you aren't arrogant as a leader and you'll listen to the person with that strength that you don't have, or surround yourself with that kind of person on purpose, then now we start having this. You need to have the holes filled or you're going to be biased and you're going to think that you know crap and you're going to fall on your face.
Yeah.
So get the people. It doesn't matter if it's not your strength. Just be able to find the people with the strength you need and get them on your team. Find something that you both.
That's a great philosophy, and it's excuse me, it's one that I fully believe in. Like, I like to be I'll liken it to a comedy show. There's some comics who wouldn't want to follow, like, let's say Jerry Seinfeld, right? Jerry gets on stage, and there's going to be comics in the room that are like, well, fuck, I can't follow him. But me, I'd be like, no, fucking let me follow Jerry Seinfeld because I'll ride the wave. They're already going to be laughing and in a good mood. All I have to do is not fuck that up. And we're good to go. So like being around people who are better at things than I am makes me elevate my game to say, oh, all right, well, I need to bring it because I'm here with so and so and they're good at this and I'm all right at that. So I need to get to their level. Like it helps me. Like I like the challenge of like, can I rise to the occasion?
Right.
Yeah. And I think there's something about focusing on your strengths too, is like, they might be good at this thing, but I'm good at this thing. So I'm going to ride my strength